and escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. The couple arrived at the cabin on a Friday afternoon. The cabin was cozy and rustic, with a fireplace, a small kitchen, and a bedroom. The cottage was secluded by its location, which sat in the middle of the forest. Liam and Sarah were excited to have several days to themselves. As soon as they arrived, they started to unpack and settle in. They quickly realized that the cabin was a bit older than they had expected. The walls were covered in cobwebs, the floorboards were creaky, and the furniture was a bit worn. "It's not exactly the Ritz-Carlton," Sarah said with a laugh. "No, but it's perfect," Liam replied. "It's exactly what we need to get away from it all." As dusk approached, after they had unpacked and settled in, Sarah went to the kitchen to cook supper for the couple. Liam stayed in the living room. He sat on the couch to read a book and relax for the night. As he read, he noticed something odd about the cabin. The furniture seemed to move around on its own. At first, he thought he was imagining things, but then he saw a chair slide across the floor. Liam stood to investigate and noticed the furniture's movements were more obvious to him. He called out to Sarah to come to the living room. "Sarah, you have to see this," he said. "The furniture is moving around on its own." Sarah rushed into the living room and looked around, but nothing seemed to be out of order. "I don't see anything," she said. "Are you sure you're not just tired?" "I'm serious," Liam said. "Look!" Liam and Sarah watched as a table floated up into the air. They were both stunned when they saw the magical event play out in front of them. "What is going on?" Sarah asked, her voice trembling. "I don't know," Liam said, "but I think this cabin might be haunted." The couple spent the rest of the night watching the furniture move around the room. They were both scared, but they were also curious. They wanted to know what was causing the furniture to move. The next day, Liam and Sarah decided to investigate the cabin. They searched every room, but they couldn't find anything unusual. They were about to give up when they found a hidden compartment in the wall. Inside the compartment, they found a book. The book was old and dusty, and it was written in a language that they didn't understand. "What is this?" Sarah asked. "I don't know," Liam said, "but I think it might be the key to understanding what's going on in this cabin." The couple took the book back to the living room and started to read it. As they read, they began to understand that the book was a spell book. The spell book is incredible, Sarah said. We can use this book to control the furniture. I don't know, Liam said. I'm not sure we should be messing with magic. Come on, Sarah said. It'll be fun. The couple decided to try out one of the spells in the book. They cast the spell, and the furniture in the cabin began to dance around the room. This is amazing, Sarah said. I love it. Liam was not so sure. He was still worried about the consequences of using magic. As the days passed, Liam and Sarah continued to use the spellbook to control the furniture in the cabin. They had a lot of fun, but they also started to notice some strange things happening. The cabin felt colder, and the shadows seemed to get darker. They heard strange noises in the night, and the furniture started to move around on its own again, even when they weren't casting spells. I don't like this, Liam said. I think we should stop using the spellbook. Don't be silly, Sarah said. We're just having fun. One night, Liam and Sarah were asleep in their bed when they were awakened by a loud noise. They sat up and looked around, but they couldn't see anything. What was that? Sarah asked. I don't know, Liam said, but I think we should check it out. The couple got out of bed and walked into the living room. When they got to the living room, they saw something that made their blood run cold. The furniture in the room was floating in the air, and it was moving around violently. The table was banging against the walls. The chairs were spinning around in circles, and the lamps were swinging from the ceiling. What's happening? Sarah asked, her voice trembling. I don't know, Liam said, but I think we're in trouble. Suddenly, the furniture in the room attacked them. The table lunged at them, and the chairs tried to knock them down. Liam and Sarah screamed and tried to run away, but the furniture was too fast. The table hit Liam in the head, and he fell to the ground. Sarah screamed and tried to help Liam, but the chairs grabbed her and held her down. She struggled to get free, but she couldn't break their grip. The furniture continued to attack Liam and Sarah. They were both seriously injured, and they were starting to lose consciousness. Just when they thought they were going to die, the furniture suddenly stopped moving. The furniture fell to the ground, and the room was silent. Liam and Sarah lay on the ground, bleeding and bruised. They were both barely alive. They looked at each other. They were both panting for air. We need to get out of here, Liam said hoarsely. I can't, Sarah said weakly. I can't move. Liam struggled to his feet and helped Sarah to stand. They staggered out of the cabin and into the woods. They walked for what what seemed like hours, and they were both exhausted. Finally, they came to a road. They flagged down a passing car, and the driver took them to a hospital. They were both treated for their injuries, and they eventually recovered. After they recovered, Liam and Sarah never went back to the cabin in the woods. They were both too scared to go back. They learned a valuable lesson about the dangers of magic. Some things are best left undisturbed.